This is a video request I put together for Steve Chance. He sent me a note asking if I would do a demonstration of how to use one of your switches on your Turnigy to control a buzzer. I don't have a buzzer, but I do have this Turnigy receiver controlled switch wired up to an LED strip. I want to demonstrate how to both wire this and configure your Turnigy with the stock firmware to control it. And then I'll follow up showing how to do the same setup with Turnigy and er9x. So wiring is fairly straightforward, but let me walk through it. This setup is similar to what you'd probably have on your multi-rotor, a battery that connects to your ESCs or your power distribution board to power your ESCs. And in parallel with that, I have the receiver controlled switch. And that switch is connected to channel 5 on my FreeSky receiver. And so you have power coming from the battery through the ESC, and the BEC is what is powering the receiver. And then on the positive side, you have your receiver controlled switch going through here and then connecting to your positive terminal on your LEDs, and negative is wired to your negative terminal. And you can see the LEDs are flashing in the background. Now there's no signal coming in to the receiver controlled switch, so you'll notice that in that mode both of these jumpers are connected and it will go into a alternating mode. So if I do the switch on, so if I remove this top jumper, you'll see that the LED strip is constantly on. Let me go ahead and put this top jumper on. If I do the inverse of that and remove the bottom jumper, now you'll notice that the LEDs are off. Okay, both jumpers in, we're back in alternating mode. Let's go ahead and set up our Turnigy 9X. Once again, we have the receiver controlled switch going into channel 5 on the receiver. Our Turnigy and our FreeSky receiver are now bound together. Let's take a look at how to do this setup. So I'm going to go into Menu, Settings. I'm going to press up once. I'm going to go to Auxiliary Channel. What I'm going to do is enable the gear switch to turn on the LEDs. I'm going to press plus until I get to gear, hit Menu to save that setting. Our gear switch is off, so let me go ahead and toggle it, and there you can see the gear switch controlling our LED. And let me point one other thing out, because sometimes settings vary from transmitter to transmitter, but if you go to your endpoints, and you'll go down and you can see I'm at 120, but I'm just going to dial that down to the default of 100. Click it down, and then I'm going to bring that down to 100. Just keep that in mind if your switch doesn't behave as expected. So we have these endpoints at 100% on each end. And what I believe to be the case is this is just looking for something less than mid-range of a 1500 PWM and then something greater than that. So in doing that toggle, below 1500 and over 1500 is what actually controls whether or not the switch is open or closed. And even with my endpoints at 100%, which are the defaults, I just had 120 for a previous configuration, you'll see that the switch works as expected. Okay, let's do this one more time now with er9x. This is a different Turnigy 9X with the FreeSky module, and we're bound to the same receiver. So I want to demonstrate how to set up that channel 5 and the gear switch. So I'm going to go in, and you can see our number 1 slot is empty, so we'll create a new model there. And let's go to page 5 of our settings. I'll scroll down to channel 5, toggle through the source, and I'm going to set the source to full. Scroll down, and for switch, I'm going to scroll through and set our gear switch. Then I'm going to hit exit, and you can see the channel 5 is now configured. And now if I toggle the gear switch, we have our LED strip working. So that's how to configure your receiver controlled switch with both stock firmware and er9x. So Steve, thanks for the video suggestion. I hope this was useful for everyone. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. And until next time, thanks for watching.